Welcome back to our program. I'm your host, Wu Ruiguo. We will continue our conversation with His Excellency Mr. Yang Chin-tien, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of China. In this segment, we will continue with questioning on Taiwan's international space and our foreign policy conduct. Minister, we understand that, as you mentioned earlier, Taiwan has a very unique international status in terms of our relations with mainland China and also the conduct of our foreign relations. And since President Ma Ying-jeou came over, became the president, that there's been a noted change in our foreign policy conduct. Yes. How would you then correlate the improved cross-strait relations to the conduct of foreign policy? Does that make it easier? And has it been positive responses from the international community? Please.
Yes. Yes, we have a very new approach towards the issue across Taiwan Strait.
Yes.
Tensions there has been substantially reduced.
Yes.
And we have actually signed a lot of agreement, as you may be aware. And the fourth dialogue between the two sides is going to take place later this month in December. And then we expect to sign an ECFA sometime next year.
Yes.
These are all very positive development.
Indeed.
And based on what we call face a reality, both sides have to face a reality, and we have to cast aside all our disputes.
Yes.
We don't engage anymore the futile exercise of disputing over, issues that is not easy to, not productive, not easy to find a solution at the moment.
Precisely.
And we have to look forward. We have to find a solution that is going to serve the interest of both sides. We call it a win-win situation.
Exactly.
And we apply the same principle to foreign affairs.
Yes.
We somehow have a kind of tacit understanding between the two sides that we will stop bitter fighting in vying for diplomatic, recognition.
Yes.
We don't engage anymore in
Cutthroat
winning away their diplomatic allies, and they also, the vice versa, don't taking away our diplomatic allies. Even though there's no written agreement, I don't think that it's easy to have a written agreement on this very important development.
Yes.
But somehow we have tacit understanding.
Yes.
That's very positive.
Yes.
Both sides agree that it serves interest of two sides of Taiwan Strait.
Yes.
At the same time, we have been able to restore the confidence and mutual trust between, say, Taiwan and countries like the United States and Japan or even European Unions and many others, which we don't have diplomatic allies, relations. But on the other side, we've been also able to develop further our substantive relations with these allies. We have restored a very high-level communication channels with the United States.
Yeah, of course.
And we know that they also place great importance to our relations. And we have been assuring them that while we improve our relation with mainland China, we want to improve first our relation with you.
Yes.
This is very important.
Yes.
And I also tell them that they also have to improve ties with Taiwan, because that will serve a very important foundation on which we can have a better relation with China. That is, we need a lot of support and encouragement from the international community so that we can go along with the same line of, finding a better relation with China. On the other side, because of this, what we call flexible diplomacy, we have been able to participate meaningfully in a lot of international organizations and its activities.
Precisely, yes.
Take this year's WHA as an example. We have been fighting for an observer status for more than 10 years, nearly 13, 14 years, without any success.
No.
But because of strong support that we garner from the international community, plus the improvement of relations with China. This year in May, our Minister of Health has been invited to participate there as an observer.
Yes.
That is a very good example of flexible diplomacy result.
Breakthrough, yes, indeed.
And our participation in last year's APEC meetings, leaders meeting, was also somehow being elevated.
Yes.
And this year the same. So these are very encouraging developments.
Yes. And also the fact of the matter remains is that, Minister, we have now currently diplomatic ties with 23 countries.
Yes.
And the 23 countries have stayed the same, since President Ma Ying-jeou came to power.
Yeah.
And that is not an easy task.
Not easy.
Yeah, I mean, as a foreign minister, you must constantly, confront the temptation, by other, sources of influence, and trying to lure the allies away. How do you deal with those, challenges?
Well, we are very sincere in
Yes.
conducting foreign affairs. We have to be very sincere.
Yes.
We let our friends understand that our cooperation programs will continue,
Yes.
even though we have a new approach. But our commitment is there, and our willingness to furthering, this kind of relations is always there. Number one.
Yes.
Number two, we also tell them that our assistance or cooperation programs will be directly benefiting the welfare of the people there.
Yes.
So that will be really in their interest. In other words, we have to be transparent in our foreign aid programs, in implementing our foreign aid programs. And we also want to see these foreign aid programs will bear good result, benefiting the local people, or by it be in the area of infrastructure, or maybe in the area of medical care, medical education, hospitals, many other areas that we have been helping our friends there, sharing our experience.
Yes.
And we have even extended to the area of high tech, telling them how to
develop a high
develop
tech
the high tech, not really, to bridge the gap of digital, digital gap, we call it digital gap.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is very important, of course.
Yeah.
And also by the same token, we also moving away from the traditional zero-sum mentality, in the conduct of foreign policy. Then looking ahead, Minister, what are the areas that we would like to see more breakthrough in the years to come? Maybe, for example, like you mentioned about the WHA, maybe in the year 2010, we can be re-invited as an observer to attend the WHA meeting again in Geneva, and also other UN affiliated organizations like the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, or also the World Meteorological Organization. Are those organizations likely to be the next target for greater international space for Taiwan to be more internationally visible?
Yes. Well, in answering your question, I want to tell you that Taiwan wants to become a responsible stakeholder.
Yes.
When we were invited as an observer to the WHA this year, May this year, we also pledged our commitment that we will provide $5 million worth medical equipment or medicines to the international community. And this year, in fact, President Ma Ying-jeou has already now announced that we will donate 500,000 doses of the H1N1 vaccines to developing countries. That is a very, very substantial contribution,
of course,
on our part. We want feedback to the international community. Number two is this year, we in fact targeted UNFCCC, the current meeting in Copenhagen, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Because Taiwan as an island was severely affected by this climate change. Take this year's Morak typhoon, for instance, that caused a lot of damages, a loss of lives, infrastructure damages. So we believe that we have to join hands with other countries. Taiwan is a very important island country, but we made a lot of contribution to the greenhouse gas emissions, and we want to share the responsibilities as a member of the international community. But at the same time, we want to know what's happening in the convention, and then we know what kind of obligations, responsibility we can shoulder. Number two, you rightly point out, this year we also target another UN specialized agencies, ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization. Taiwan is being a very important civil aviation hub in this area. And the civil aviation concerned about safety and security of all the flights. So we need to be part of that mechanism.
Yes.
So this is our target this year. But of course, we don't believe that overnight we can achieve anything.
No.
But as time goes, I don't believe that it will take another 15 years, such as the WHA has been taking us. We believe that in the near future, we will achieve what we are going to achieve.
Yes. And also, Minister, I think it's very important in order to continue to improve relations with China, that we start developing some credible trust in each other. You know, you mentioned that very earlier, that we'll also, try to restore trust with important allies like the United States and Japan. And are you then happy, since becoming the Minister of Foreign Affairs, that you're happy with the reciprocal goodwill from Beijing in this area?
Yes, I'm hopeful.
Yes.
And so far, we believe that both sides is trying to extend
the goodwill.
Goodwill.
Yes.
And when we accumulate enough goodwill, then trust will be there.
Yes.
So we are patient because the two sides has been separate for so long. We don't believe that anything can change overnight. No. But we have to be patient.
Yes.
But I want to tell our friends, both at home and abroad, that this new policy of foreign affairs, flexible diplomacy, has actually bear good results.
Indeed.
And we also want to tell our friends that diplomacy or foreign affairs is not so far from their daily lives.
Yes.
I want to tell them that we can do something for their lives, such as the
improvement of their quality of life.
Such as visa-free treatment for
but
our
Minister,
passport
I'm going to
holder.
ask you to hold on to that
Okay.
because we're going to take another break and we'll
I
be
see.
right back to Taiwan Outlook. I will continue with this conversation with Minister Yang Jing-tien, Minister of Foreign Affairs for the Republic of China on Taiwan. I'll see you in a few minutes.